In this video, we're going to talk about how to start a foreclosure process on many different levels on this, okay? Not just with tax liens and tax deeds. We're going to go through the whole gamut of that. By the time we're done with this video, you'll know when, who, how, and how to profit from all this. So stick around to the very end. I'm going to walk you through that process. And I will have a special bonus for you at the very end. So make sure you stick around to that point and I'll walk you through that whole process there. Now, I got a lot of notes on this, okay? There are several different types of foreclosures that you will have. Foreclosure is, let's just talk about what foreclosure is, okay? A foreclosure process is typically when a property owner has pledged the property up for certain conditions. It doesn't necessarily have to be a mortgage. This mortgage stuff is, in all reality, the way it's set up right now, it's fairly new. And what I mean by that, it used to be I could go up to a property owner and say, I want to buy your house and I'm going to give you a certain amount of money right now and I'll make payments to you. They were the mortgage, they were the creditor. Well, the bank saw the opportunity to make money in this and they said, oh, we'll give you these 30-year loans, 15-year loans, which enabled people to buy more and more expensive homes on that. As a property owner back in the day, even before I was doing this, they would say, well, I know you can't afford the whole cost of it right now. Give me a big chunk of money right now. I'll finance the balance of that. And maybe there's a balloon payment. You know, in 5 years, you got to pay me off and blah, 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 whatever that might be. Okay. So that could be the way it is. But the thing is, if you're pledging your property up for some type of a debt and you miss payments a certain period of time, that's when I can enact a legal action to take the property. Now, this is a very serious process. Foreclosure is not taken lightly in this country. Although we've seen these spurts like the real estate debacle of 08, 09, and 2010 of that, where things were crumbling with the whole loose financing that was going on and foreclosure were happening left and right. People were walking away from properties. Not that that changed anything, but the courts take this very serious. One of the things the founding fathers, I think it was Jefferson, Hamilton, and Benjamin Franklin, that were saying, if we could make home ownership, the owner of property, super solid that nobody else could take it away from them, we would become one of the richest nations in the world. And how they were framing that was, coming from Europe, most people didn't own property, okay? It was the monarchy or the lords, hence the name landlord. So if the lord of the area gave you a piece of property for a while, you would pay rent to the landlord, and then after either you died or they died or somebody, usually it was given to the family, and then that's how people got property. It was very rare for somebody to go out and knock on the castle and say, hey, I want to buy a piece of my property. It just didn't exist. You were a peasant. And so when they started this, they said, okay, we want to make home ownership really solid here, and they were right. It's worked very well. But one of the reasons that owning real estate in the United States is so profitable is because of the fact that they understand chain of title, who owns the property. So when somebody comes up and says, hey, they've pledged the property and they haven't fulfilled their obligations and I want to foreclose, everybody goes, okay, we have a very clear procedure that you have to document that has happened in order for that property to be taken from that person and given to another or yourself or whoever that might be. So that's really what it is in a nutshell. A tax lien and a tax deed foreclosure really is no different than a regular foreclosure. What makes it unique is nothing survives it. What do I mean by that? If I foreclose on a property due to delinquent property taxes, I've bought the tax lien certificate at sale, I own it at 18%, 2 years have gone by, they haven't come in during that 2 years, that's the stated statute, let's say, for that particular jurisdiction for this conversation. Once that happens, once I've met that 2 years, I kind of go, hey, enough's enough. I'm the lien holder of record. I would like to go ahead and start my foreclosure. Now, either the county's going to do it, you hire a law firm to do it, Tax Title Services out of Southern California. I've worked with Nick and those guys for a long time. They can do it. And all they're doing is doing the same thing as any kind of foreclosure on there, but there's a different set of procedures because it's for delinquent taxes, not a mortgage or what have you. You didn't sign for paying taxes, but it's without saying, you buy a piece of property, you're paying county property taxes. If you don't, they have the legal right to put a lien on the property, and if you continue not to pay it, they have the legal right to sell the property for the back taxes. That's just how it works. So if I was the one that gave it to the county, I essentially have the county's position. Because I have the county's position and the county has so much control over this, well, then you have it. So as you can see, this is a very serious process on it. So like Nick and those guys, what they're doing is they're notifying everybody that's got a financial interest. Because think about it, the county really doesn't have any power. So their one power is if you don't pay property taxes, we get our taxes before anybody else. But again, they're not sneaking up on the bank or Aunt Martha put a loan lien against the property or anybody else, Bank of America, whatever. They're not doing that. They're notifying everybody. So when I go into a tax lien foreclosure, what I'm essentially doing is saying, hey, everybody that's got a financial interest in this property, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Aunt Sally, we are foreclosing this property. Your position will no longer be attached to this property. Now, it doesn't mean I'm wiping out their loan. It's just no longer going to be held as the obligation for the loan or a collateral. And so they've got 60 days, 90 days, 120, whatever it is in that particular jurisdiction to come in and satisfy those delinquent taxes. If they don't, make no mistake about it, by the time that time limit is done, that day, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever that is, I own the property. And those liens and encumbrances are no longer attached to that. They have no legal right to that property. Okay, pretty awesome. Okay, number one. Number two, if I go to a tax deed sale, that's kind of what's happening there. Okay, with the tax lien, I bought it at the very beginning. I waited several years and then I foreclosed. With the tax deed, they have waited several years, the county have, and they're saying, look, enough's enough. It's been a minimum of 4 years, and they're gonna go ahead and the county's gonna foreclose on the property. But here's the deal. When it goes to sale and I put my hand up, that's the final act of foreclosure. Like literally, by today at 12 o'clock, if you don't come in and satisfy the delinquent taxes, whether you're Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or Aunt Sally, or the homeowner, it will go to sale, and that sale is final. Okay? I get that property, I pay the taxes on the property, plus the bid amount. So if they owed $10,000 in taxes on that at a deed sale, and I bid that up to $50,000 and I was a successful bidder, it's not the county's property. So the excess funds over that $10,000, in this case 40, would have to go back to the former property owner because it was their property. The county can't sit there, take your property and then make a profit on it. Okay, that's kind of a side note to understand on there. So this is a very serious process in there, but that's what the foreclosure process is. And I think that kind of equates why there's so much people in the know that say tax lien certificates and tax deed properties are the best kept secrets and the safest and most lucrative investment opportunity out there. Because if you do your research correctly, I'm putting down a few $1,000s, I'm gonna get an interest rate back, but if they don't pay, I'm protected by the underlying value of this property. I mean, try this. Go to your bank, tell them you wanna give them a few $1,000s, and you want 16% on your money, on your deposit, and if the bank goes under, you want $100,000. They're like, yeah, knucklehead on aisle 10 or whatever. They're gonna kick you out of the bank. Okay, but that's kind of what you're looking at here. Okay, you're looking at a situation where I'm putting a few $1,000s down, I'm getting 16% on my money, and if they don't satisfy the delinquent taxes, I get the property free and clear. It just literally, overused term, does not get any better than that. There is not another investment strategy out there that allows you to do that. So the key is you gotta do your research. You don't go out there like a drunken sailor and buy, nothing wrong with drunken sailors, that has to happen, but buying tax liens and tax deeds without doing your research. You have to know exactly what you're getting into so you don't make any mistakes. In fact, I would not invest one penny until I knew what all of those mistakes were and how to avoid them. And that's why I've got this gift for you. It is a brand new course. I'm gonna give it to you for free. I just put it together. You're gonna I think it's some of my best work yet. You go into higginsmethod.com, Click the link there and you'll have immediate access to this brand new course to help you and your family find financial independence. This is Saen Higgins saying God bless and good luck.